It has no resonances. And why does it not have resonances? Okay, a warm welcome from Kaiser Acoustics to the Munich HighEnd Show 2024. So it's really a pleasure for me that I get the chance again to make a video with Hi-Fi Club in Korea. As you know, I'm a big fan of Korea and I'm traveling there very often for my automotive business with HMG Group. And I was also in the last months really visiting your showroom, and I was extremely deeply impressed about your skills in system integration and in emotional content of the music. But now let's focus on Kaiser Acoustics. Kaiser Acoustics is a family-held business founded in the speaker business, founded in 2008, but the company itself was founded in 1945, so short after the Second World War, by the grandfather of my partner Hans-Jürgen Kaiser. So usually they focus on interior design, so carpenter job, but they also moved then to studio design, acoustic treatment, acoustic performance, and in 2008 we started the public demonstration of our speaker business. So what's all about these KAWERO speakers? First of all, we have here two new speakers in Munich, so world presentation. Hope that we have them soon in Seoul also. So the first one is called Minal. You see serial number 001. Yeah, it's the first pair. It was finished really recently on late notice. Therefore, we had to adjust a little bit here for the room. And then a small baby here. It's called Colibrido. It's also completely made from our material Tankwood. You see it's a two-way speaker, Purify, also with Purify passive radiator, and with the elliptic-core, the small one from Scanspeak, but they are all modified chassis. But I will come to that speaker later. What differs Kaiser Acoustic from many speaker manufacturers? It's a cabinet material. Tankwood. What's all about Tankwood? Tankwood is a natural wood, beech wood, which is compressed, so really processed with very heavy pressing, and it's really literally bulletproof. It's also used for armored vehicles, for Formula 1 cars, and for a lot of applications. I have here two samples. So this is the cabinet material of our famous KAWERO Classic. It has no resonances. And why does it not have resonances? Because the material itself has different velocity of sound in each direction due to these layers. So in each homogeneous material like aluminum or Corian, which others use, you have the same speed of sound in each direction. Here it's not the case, because the young modulus is always different. I can show you that later. And therefore, natural resonances don't build up so strong. It's smearing the energy to different directions and also then having this low energy. As I told you in the beginning, I also have a career in the automotive industry. And this material on the back, this was from 2000 in a Mercedes E-Class to dampen the firewall. So this metal sheet between engine compartment and passenger compartment. So I will give you later some examples. You can then also take them with you to Korea. Good. So now to the big speaker, to the Minal. As you know from the Kaiser KAWERO Classic, we are a big fan of the audio technology drivers, because they on one hand side have very low mass. So it's a polypropylene special treated, so plastic cone in spite of metal cone on some other appliance, and they have a reasonable big voice coil. Why a big voice coil? Because you do not have problems with temperature increase when you run them a lot of hours or at high level. Yeah, so the voice coil will get higher, more temperature, so the temperature will rise, and then you will have a change in your so-called Tilly small parameters. So that means a cold speaker and a warm speaker after a while will sound different. This is not the case here because the voice coil is really big and can dissipate a lot of. The next thing in speaker design, many companies focus on a flat frequency response. But we are also focusing on a perfect time domain. This impulse response you have seen on the measurement, the step response for a four-way speaker is really, really perfect. So we have no overshoot. Everything is exactly in the same time. And that is giving you the ability to really locate the sound. Yeah? So for the first 5 milliseconds, the human brain tries to find the location, could be dangerous or not. And after a while, then you can hear the tonality, yeah, the richness of a tone. So it takes some while, some periods of the sound that you can distinguish a noise and a tone. So we are focusing here on time domain also. That means we have here a little bit tilted front buffer, that the source of each driver is in the same plane at the listener. Yeah? And additionally, you see that we have a different kind of woofer tweeter. So also in the KAWERO Classic and in our big model, the Grande, we prefer ribbon tweeter because a ribbon tweeter is extremely fast. It has almost no mass, just this foil, which is driven by the electrical current. And when the field is homogeneous, the current distribution over the foil is also homogeneous, so we have the same force on this foil all over, and it does not really flex. That gives you really good piston movement. Now the problem is coming from a cone driver to this small ribbon. Usually what we do in the KAWERO Classic is that we can rotate the tweeter head, because the problem is the mid-range will try to beam. The higher the frequencies, the smaller is the radiation, and then the tweeter is opening up again. Yeah? So that means on the side wall, you have exactly at the crossover between mid-range and tweeter a kind of suck out. Yeah? So the mid-range is having less energy to the side, and then the tweeter is coming again. And we, in the Classic, we try to align that. In the Grande and in the Minal, we do a kind of waveguide. This waveguide is very, very tricky. So it has here a different distance to here. It has 45-degree opening angle at the beginning, and then a kind of smooth radiation. So it's optimized by FEM, so finite element method analysis. So we have here some good tools to do that. And therefore, here we are trying to decrease the beam width. Yeah? So it is then also in the lower treble, it has more energy. We need to adjust it with the crossover. Then additionally, we have this closed box mid-range, 6.5 inch, 10-inch woofer, and 12-inch lower woofer. The lower woofer is ported to the ground with a special technology. The feet of all of our speakers are from the USA, from America. It's still points. In this case, it's still 0.5. We need that distance also because we have the downfiring ports. And the speaker has a complete Duilund crossover from Denmark. So the parts are really expensive, but there's no free lunch. You need to really get the best components you get. It's like preparing a meal, yeah? And as I told you in the last interview, I'm a big fan of Korean cuisine, so I love kimchi, I love chicken, I love everything, and looking forward to be there again. This speaker weight is approximately 200 kilograms because this material has a density of about 1.4 kilogram per liter, so it's much more heavier than water. So this wood would not float in water, it would sink because it's so highly compressed. And this is, I think, a very, very promising speaker. And here we have not the rear firing units, here we use a different technology to adjust sound power. And therefore we're looking forward that this is really delivering a satisfying sound here in Munich and to our customers worldwide. Okay, then maybe to the smaller speaker, which is our small baby. The name is Colibri. So it's also complete Tankwood, so therefore it's a heavy baby. Yeah? It's not so lightweight. And it has an internal volume of 4 liter. And also dual crossover, which was a little bit challenging to get these big parts into this small cabinet. These are binding posts terminal from Phono Acústica. This is a famous high-end brand from Spain, usually focusing on cables. I think they're well known in Asia, and we had a long cooperation with them, and they provided us now with special terminals with beryllium copper, and they're sounding really, really good. We will play them later on some notice. Okay, so far this would be my presentation for the Kaiser KAWERO brand. And as I mentioned before, we will also do a more detailed questionnaire when I'm visiting Seoul again and visiting Hi-Fi Club. Really looking forward to that. Thank you.
stand here by the western wall. Maybe a little of that wall stands inside of us all. And I shove my prayers in the cracks. I got nothing to lose, no one to answer back. All these years I've brought up for review. I wasn't taught this, but I learned something new. Had to answer a distant call at the western wall. This altar of tears, red dust settles deep in my skin. I don't know where it starts and where I begin. It's a crumbling pile of broken stones. It ain't much, but it might be home. If I ever loved a place at all, it's a western wall. I don't know if God was ever a man, but if she was, I think I understand why he found a place to break his fall near the western